Hey guys, it's Alyssa coming to you on a rainy Saturday morning. I didn't go out and hit any sales or anything today. There actually weren't really any scheduled, so that's good. Because the rain probably would have meant they were going to either be soggy or canceled. But part of the reason I wasn't going out too is because I do have a lot of stuff here, and I don't really need more stuff. That said, I am thinking about going out next weekend to an auction, so I don't know. It looks like one that's too good to pass up. But I keep saying I'm going to make a video talking about dealing with my stockpile here, my sort of all the stuff I have to list, which I should list before I buy new stuff, and my I guess strategy for that, procedure for that. And so I'm in my living room, which is actually where I have a lot of my stuff. Yeah, it does take over my house, I guess. And so I'm gonna show you some things here. Hang on, let me. Okay, so I do have some storage bins here with stuff in them. These all are. There's one empty one, and the other three here are filled with stuff, and then there's some more actually over here that are filled with stuff. And it's a pretty. This is like a shelf that I picked up for like $3 at a yard sale. And I picked up these crates too at yard sales. The bins are from the dollar store. But the reason I keep this stuff in my living room is I actually write up my descriptions before I list things. It might seem like extra work to some people, but this is a system that works for me. And the reason I do this in my living room is because I also have a television in here. Oh look, there's boxes behind my television. I'm telling you, I got stuff everywhere. Yeah, so when I'm watching like a show or a movie, I can actually sit and work on some listings. So I'll do that like in the evenings after dinner and try to get caught up on stuff that way. And when I write up my description, I mean, it's not. Here's one right here that I worked on last night. But it's just, a notebook, cheapo notebook. And so I have my title at the top, a description, all the information, the measurements, and my little shorthand for my shipping charges there. But that's all I do. It's nothing too fancy. And then I have like whole notebooks of my descriptions. And once I write up the descriptions on things, then they get put upstairs in the pile to be photographed, because I take all my pictures upstairs where the lighting is a little bit better. Although the lighting is just horrible today, so I do apologize for it being so dark. I do have another thing actually over here that has stuff in. I have stuff everywhere. And these are some of the smaller things. Isn't this cool? It's like a card catalog. It's missing one of the drawers, but I picked it up for $10 at a yard sale, so I couldn't pass it up. And that's something I could, if I had all of the drawers in it, I could probably sell it online for a few $100, but I don't, and I like it, so I might just keep it. But anyway, so these are some of the smaller things in here, like little tiny card sets and postcards, and I don't know what else is. That one's empty, yay! So there are empty ones, which is nice, but then there are ones that have stuff in it, like little figurines and things like that. So what I try to do is, like, I'll set goals for myself. Like last night, I'll be like, okay, I'm going to get through a whole one of these orange bins. I didn't actually do that because the bin I picked had a lot of stuff in it, so I didn't write up the whole thing. But the other night, I did get through a whole bin and a whole drawer from the card catalog over there. And this seems to work a little better for me, because then when I go to list things, I'll usually list like maybe 4 items at a time. And if I already have a description written up, a title written up, it's pretty easy to do. I just gotta pull my photos together, upload them, type up what I already have written up, and it's not like I have to actually sit down and, go through and measure the thing and all that stuff. That's already done. All the work is done. And to me, this makes it go quicker. Even though it seems like more work to write up a description and then have to type it into the computer, I'm a pretty fast typer, so that doesn't take too long. But yeah, because I only have so much space, I don't really want to fill it all up with stuff, but and these bins aren't all full. Like this one, I mean, it looks pretty full, but it's got just some big things in it. There's some books at the bottom and a mug and some trivet type things, and this has a whole bunch of books in it that's taking up most of the space in it. But yeah, I mean, I really shouldn't be going out buying more stuff next week. Okay, I don't know what happened. My phone quit out before when I was filming, so I'm just gonna finish this video up here in my office. But anyway, the point of what I was saying is that for me, it works to break things down. There's like trucks going by outside. I'm sorry. For me, it works to break things down into manageable little chunks. So like those little orange bins and those little card catalog drawers there, that works for me. I don't know what works for you. And also writing up the listings ahead of time, even though that seems like an extra step, because I can write up a whole bunch at once and then, you know, just list them, you know, during the week, it seems to work better for me. And I don't do that with eBay stuff. Amazon's a little different because most of Amazon is just like, you know, scanning an item in and it's added. You don't really have to make a listing for it. But I will say the Amazon stuff that I end up with that I do have to create a listing for, it sits for a while before I actually get around to taking a picture of it and making the whole listing, because that's like a lot more work. And I don't, you know, write up a separate thing for my Amazon stuff. I don't write up a separate stuff for my eBay stuff, and that stuff does not get listed as quickly as my Etsy stuff because I have more of a system going with the Etsy stuff, and that works for me. So my suggestion for anyone that is struggling with this is to come up with some sort of system. And it doesn't have to be the same as my system, because that's what works for me. You have to find what works best for you. And so for me, breaking it down into, you know, those smaller chunks where I can just like, you know, say like, okay, I'm going to get through this whole bin and then I'm done. Or, you know, and writing up the stuff ahead of time so that it's all done when I go to list. Like, I'm not like, I don't want to have to, you know, write up this whole description, get up my measuring tape and all that kind of stuff. Like, everything's already done as far as I'm concerned. The hard work is done. So that seems to be what works for me. And it goes a lot smoother, I guess. That said, I still have a backlog, and, you know, I'll get through it as I get through it. You know, and what'll happen, at least here, is, you know, come December, I'll be getting through the stuff that I've kind of, like, been like, you know, putting off because it's difficult, or it's not something I'm not interested in, or it's not worth that much money. So, because there's less inventory available to me during that time of year than there is right now. So, that's kind of how it works. For me, it'll depend on where you live. Like, if you live down south or something where you can buy stuff all year round, you're not going to have that problem. But anyway, I hope that helps. I know I keep saying I was going to make this video, so I finally made it. Hopefully all the stuff I filmed on my phone is really there, because it was acting kind of weird. But we shall see.